I think today we're going to pick the best of the top two because they've been, I think it's fair to say, Liverpool and Man City have been streets ahead of the rest.
Yeah.
They've been the best two teams by some distance.
By some distance.
But try and pick a team just from Man City and Liverpool players.
Am I going to pick the
I think
City ones?
We've talked about this already, and we agree on pretty much
everything.
The whole team. So you pick the City players.
I'm going to go with... Initially, I thought Alisson.
Yeah.
I just think I wouldn't say he's the better goalkeeper, but you know what? For the way this guy passes the ball out from the back, I'm gonna go with Ederson. I just think I haven't.
Let's stay on Ederson because I was with you as well. I picked Ederson. It's a really difficult one because you look at the records this season. I think they both had 20 clean sheets. They both conceded 22 goals, so their records are identical. I just think better with the ball at feet.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think I like Alisson as well, and I think he comes off his line well. I just think Ederson's slightly better with his feet.
Well, I've never seen a goalkeeper play as a number 10 before, so it's it's remarkable. And then that's the thing about Pep. You know, he's always evolving, always trying to improve things with the false nine, and you know, midfielders as centre backs. This now having a goalkeeper that plays no-look passes in that position, we've never seen before. So he deserves it alone for the no-look pass I think he played at Watford.
Alisson's had a big effect at Liverpool, hasn't he? He's had a massive effect on them. I just think that I'm with you. I think Ederson as well. Who else? Are we picking anyone else at the back then from City?
Well, it has to be Laporte. I think he's had an outstanding season.
Yeah.
But after that, I think we're going to have a few more Liverpool players in this defence.
We've already talked, haven't we, about Liverpool's fullbacks?
Got to have Trent.
So let's put the two fullbacks in straight away. I'll tell you what, here's a good question. If you can only have one, you can buy one. You're a manager. You can have Robertson or Alexander-Arnold. Who do you buy?
It's a tough school, this, isn't it?
I actually right now, I'd probably say Robertson right now.
I would probably agree with you, but I just think Trent has more upside in a way.
What do you mean?
I think eventually Trent's going to play in there. I think Trent's a central midfield player.
Okay.
Right now, while he's still...
What do you see in him? What do you see in him then that can play centre midfield?
He is the central midfield player. That's how he kind of come through the academy. He passes the ball, and Liverpool fans probably might think I'm crazy for this. He passes the ball like Steven Gerrard. He passes with so much care, with so much love. He hits it so hard, with precision. Watching him pass the ball...
Can we click that up and send that to Trent Alexander-Arnold?
No, honestly,
he'll play it every night.
Watching him pass the ball is a beautiful thing. It really is. I love Robertson, but this kid is going to get even better.
And I think there's no doubt.
Does Virgil get in? No,
he just about squeezes in. That's not a bad back four, is it?
That is unbelievable.
Right, how are we gonna do the rest of it then? 4-3-3 it has to be because both teams play 4-3-3.
Well, I think this one we both agree on, don't we? We agree on Bernardo, on Fernandinho.
I think there was a case for Fabinho. I think Fabinho's had a particularly good second half of the season.
Probably hasn't played enough games. I think that's probably one of the things going against him. But I think Fabinho has been terrific, and especially this position is so important because if you think about the way this team is going to play, if they play together, you know, these guys are up there, aren't they? You know, so having this guy as a safety valve is going to be so important.
Just on Fabinho, he's nailed that position down, hasn't he? That holding midfield position at Liverpool. Henderson, you probably feel has got too much energy to play in that position. He actually enjoys playing a little bit further forward as well.
Henderson's greatest attribute is running, like James Milner, box to box. Yeah. So Fabinho is naturally defensive thinking. He wins the ball back. He presses high. I love Fabinho's game. I think he's perfect for Liverpool. And credit the recruitment side for recognising that. He started slowly, but Jurgen Klopp knew he was going to have an impact on the season. He's been terrific.
But actually, the two of them, Fernandinho's played centre-half. Fabinho, likewise, can play centre-half. He can play right back if needed.
Yeah.
Perhaps Trent Alexander-Arnold and Fabinho can do a job swap. He can go and play in midfield and do the Gerrard role.
Thing is, but from there, it's hard to play that killer pass. Trent right now, even though he probably wants to play central midfield, playing in there, he gets to decide games. We've seen it lately. You know, from there, you have to have more discipline, which Fernandinho has in abundance.
Let's stay with City then, in midfield.
I mean, this guy, Bernardo Silva, he's one of my favourite players to watch in the whole Premier League. This guy, honestly, at Monaco, he was a number 10. And now, I've never seen a number 10 work as hard as him. He literally plays like a defensive midfield player. I remember interviewing Leroy Sané and saying to him, That guy you're not getting him out the team anymore.
Well, start the season, I think Pep's quote was, it's Bernardo Silva plus 10.
Well, the thing is, at the time, he plays like 10. I mean, the kid runs around, tackling everyone, and technically he's very good.
Actually, if you look back at the game between City and Liverpool, the one on the 3rd of January, he probably ran 14 kilometres. He certainly ran more than anybody else on the pitch that evening. He was everywhere.
You're right, and there's a couple games this season. I think he's in the top 5 of most distance covered in a Premier League game this season. And forget just running around. He has quality. Yeah. When you get him the ball into feet, he can pick a pass. You're right. In this City team, to make yourself undroppable is some achievement.
Who else is joining them in midfield then? Are we cheating slightly? Or do you want to change the system?
Well, it's just going to be probably a shape thing, isn't it? Depending on where you want Raheem Sterling to play.
How do you want to do this?
Well, these two could play there, or he could play there. I think Raheem has to be in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling has to be inside. Just the season that he's had, he's been.
Player of the year is between Sterling and Van Dijk, hasn't
Raheem and Van Dijk. Yeah.
He has to be in there.
Yeah, he has to be in there. I think up top, the last Manchester City player I think that's going to be for us is Sergio Aguero.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Well, I think Salah gets in the team.
Definitely.
Where do we put? I'll tell you what. Let's just, for argument's sake, Salah. And we've got one more. And again, I don't think there's any argument about this. The season that Sadio Mane's had as well on the left-hand side. I mean, people are talking about Salah saying, he's not been as good this season. He's still the top scorer.
He's unbelievable, Mo Salah. I would love to just see these two play up there together. Get Raheem out there. Let Fernandinho...
4-4-2.
Yeah. And
hang on, how we playing here?
And the thing is as well...
All out attack.
These boys would be in the box, by the way. And these boys would be up here. They'd be your wingers.
Yeah.
So
and Bernardo Silva backs it up, and then you've got a back three of Fernandinho, Van Dijk and Laporte, yeah?
Good luck, by the way, for these three at the back. But to be fair, he's unbelievable at his job. He is too.
They'd have the ball the majority of the time anyway.
I mean, look, I would just imagine watching this group of players play.
I think that team might win the Premier League.
I think this team would destroy everyone. They are just... That has everything. Defensively strong, it's got a defensive midfield players, got creators. It's perfect.
Had a bit of fun there. But actually, we haven't picked the manager. Who are you going to pick? Who are you going to pick in charge? Who would you like to play under?
I would love to see Jurgen Klopp coach a City's team, and I'd love to see Pep take over Liverpool's team. And
see what happens.
Just for the flip a coin. They're both unbelievable.
I actually think in goal as well, you could probably flip a coin as well. And Fernandinho and Fabinho potentially as well. But that's not a bad team. I think it'd win the Premier League, wouldn't it? Okay, it's time for another break. When we come back, £8 million from Hull 2 years ago. I mean, that is a bargain. You talked about Vincent Kompany, what was he, £6 million? Well, Robertson at £8 million 2 years ago. That's a bargain, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I mean, he's the best left-back in the country. He's getting to a point where he's arguably one of the best left-backs in the world. He's that good. And I think in terms of, he's a proper defender as well. Nowadays, all the defenders in terms of, they just talk about assists. But actually, 1v1, he's hard to go against because he's so aggressive. And even with Trent Alexander-Arnold's the same. They are the modern fullback in a nutshell. They're brilliant. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's judge them on assists as well, because they've both done pretty well this season. This is not just this season. We're talking about Premier League history here. This is the most assists by a defender in one season, and they are joint top with Leighton Baines and Andy Hinchcliffe with 11 each. They're going to be crossing the ball left, right and centre this weekend, surely, against Wolves. Trying to top the league on their own.
You would have thought. I mean, their delivery is so good in terms of... And the thing is, because they're the new wingers in the Liverpool system, and because Mane and Salah, they're coming inside, they're in the box with Firmino normally when getting on the end of these crosses. So the wingers now are kind of almost playing as number 10s. They're in the box. These guys are the wingers. They cross the ball almost more than anybody in the whole league. So
that's actually the big difference between themselves and Man City, isn't it? Because we talked about Man City earlier. Their wider players do stay wide and try and attract the full-backs to them. Liverpool is totally different. Firmino usually plays centre forward and drops deep. Mane, Salah running behind, leaves the space down the flanks for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson.
Well, you look at those numbers, 11 assists. All the other players on that list, I mean, we're talking about defenders in the history of the Premier League. If you look at the top assists in the Premier League this season, all the other players on there are virtually number 10s and wingers. Mm-hmm. And that just shows you're right. The difference between Liverpool is the fullbacks get forward, they almost play as wingers, and the wingers come inside. With Manchester City, that's why the number 10s have all the assists, whether it's, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, De Bruyne. They're the architects. And, and the fullbacks stay in, the wingers stay wide.
All left-backs. Well, apart from Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's the only right footer on that list.
I mean, amazing, isn't it? I mean, football has evolved. You know, the fullback is you get as many touches as the central midfield player. So it's important that they use the ball.
Just have a look at the table this week. They're up against Wolves, who are best of the rest. And they're finishing in 7th this season. That's guaranteed. 4 points clear of Everton in 8th. And everyone talks about the big 6. But Wolves have had a fantastic season. Would you be worried if you were Liverpool coming up against this Wolves team?
Definitely. I love watching this Wolves team play. I mean, for the way they've come up and the way they've taken the Premier League by storm, they've got a great goalkeeper in Rui Patricio. That back 3 is settled. The wing backs are terrific. Midfield 3 is arguably it's as good as some of the big 6's teams as well. And Jota and Jimenez up top, you know, they pose a threat. So this, you're right, to be the best of the rest is an exceptional achievement.
And what they have got is a really good record against the big boys this season. 11 matches, they've won 4, drawn 4, lost 3, and actually, compare it to the bottom 6, they've lost more games against the bottom 6 than they have against the top 6. I mean, that's mental, isn't it?
They're just good, you know. They don't try and go toe to toe with the big teams. They're smart, you know. They sit in, they defend well, and they can play on the counter. They use the ball incredibly well with Neves, Moutinho in there. They can play those long balls into Jimenez and Jota. You know, and I think maybe when they play some of the small teams, maybe those tactics don't come off as well. But against the big 6, those tactics work brilliantly. And I'm not sure that's going to be an easy game as Liverpool fans think it might be.
What about going forward for Wolves then? Let's talk about them a little bit. And next season, because they finished 7th this year. What's their aim? Can they break into the top 6? Are they good enough to do that, do you think?
Do you think they want to? Do you think that's Champions League football? Do you think it's realistic?
I don't see why not. Why wouldn't they try and aim for that? They're not far behind Man United at the moment.
No, but I just think the level of investment it's going to take to get there is hard. You know, I think to be the best of the rest is an achievement in itself. Yeah. I mean, Fulham has spent 100 million and gone down. You know, for these guys to get into that top 6 would take some level of investment. But you're right. And
I suppose it's keeping players as well, because there's a number of players in that Wolves team that I think some of the big boys will be looking at. Jota, for instance.
I think Jimenez, definitely. Yeah. Neves. You know, they're going to be hard to keep. But I think, obviously, the way they set it up and, you know, the Portuguese influence they have there, you know, they're not going to get worse. You're right. They are going to get better. It'd just be interesting to see who's going to come in and make them take the next step.
Now, on this show, we do like to pick an 11 at times. We've picked our team of the year.